I skipped every day for 30 days. Why? I wanted to improve my discipline. You're probably like me in this way of you have no discipline. So if you don't want to do something, you likely won't do it. So I wanted to do something that I don't like, something that is going to probably benefit me in some other way than just that, but also something that is pretty cheap, not too hard to do, just not something I want to do. So for me, I usually spend all my time and all my energy in things that absorb my time and don't benefit me much in return. And what I mean by that is I scroll through social media, watch all of these movies, play all these video games, and I do all of these things, and yet I have all of these lofty goals on this other side, but I'm not even doing anything to get to them. I wanted to see if I did something that I didn't like for 30 days consistently. Spoiler alert, it wasn't consistent, my discipline's still ass, but I wanted to see if it would help, if it would change things, and if I were to get better at things. So then, why skipping? Well, A, I'm young and broke. A skipping rope is like $3 from Walmart. The second part is, you can look dope while skipping. Some people, they do these like side to side, like skippy, jump ropey, one-handed, all of these like cowboy lasso things, but like urban. I never learned how to do any of those except for the odd little twisty bit. And last but not least, I absolutely hate skipping. It's not something I'm good at or passionate about, which makes it perfect for trying to get me off of my lazy ass. Could I expect any other results from this though? Could I expect to be more shredded, more well-built? Should I expect a difference in my skill and the physical ability to skip? Will I stop smacking my cankles as much? And overall, will I, enjoy it by the end? I did get better at skipping. Absolutely. By the end, I was able to skip for longer without, needing to draw breath, sit down and wait a little bit. And by the end of it, I wasn't hitting my legs as much, which was awesome. But could I expect to gain better definition, lose fat, get shredded by skipping? And the short answer is not me, but you might. And the reason for that is because I don't track anything. Skipping is one of so many factors in my life during that time that contribute to how my body looks, right? So aside from strength training and aside from eating, I do skipping. But here's the thing, my strength training is not structured. I don't foresee in the future about like, okay, I'm gonna do this that day, that day. I kind of do it by feel, which means that just based off of that, my body composition does change ever so slightly from month to month, for better to worse as it is, just regardless. And so then what about my nutrition, which is much, much worse? I have a 4-liter of ice cream in my freezer. I eat that shit like in a week, alone pretty much. My girlfriend helps sometimes, but not much. It's mainly me. And overall, my protein intake is so inconsistent, my calorie intake is so inconsistent that if I were to have a positive change in my body, it wouldn't be because of skipping. It would be because of something else. It would be because maybe I had a burst of motivation, not discipline, because I don't have that yet, and I hit the iron a little bit better. Maybe I had a very, very healthy grocery haul and I didn't have any unhealthy snacks or ice cream to just eat. Kind of took that on the first day of skipping, shortly after, a few minutes after, just in my washroom, lighting, nothing flattering, just so you can see, right? Like that's the starting point, just to see if there is a difference. Over the course of the 30 days, I encountered some very interesting obstacles. And the first one, the biggest one at first, was head pain, surprisingly enough. So every time my feet would hit the ground, my head would hurt. There would be this pang of pain, and it wouldn't be very comfortable. And I was playing around with all sorts of things, my breathing, whether or not my knees were bent more or less, how much, if my heels touch the ground, don't let your heels touch the ground, it's kind of yucky. I was playing around with a lot of things, and for the long while, it didn't really do much. It was just constant. Every time I landed, okay, pang, 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 And to a point, I kind of accepted that for the first little bit. But then I got a big old like explosion of pain, pretty much. So what happened was I was skipping, and for whatever reason, I forget if I hit something, I forget if I just needed to take a breath of air, but I stopped. Your boy's head just started hurting real bad, quite bad. And so I think I'm gonna do this one in 2 parts and see how it goes. It was really weird, cause like it wasn't hurting. Then all of a sudden, you know, I hit the railing behind me. I was like, oh, I should probably adjust. So I stopped for a sec, and then it started hurting real bad. And so I don't think that's normal. If it is, it's new to me. So yeah, this one will be in 2 parts. This is day 3. But I think it was like 2 or 3 days after that, whether or not it was because of something I did consciously or not, but the pain went away for the most part. So then when I landed, it wouldn't hurt as much, which was awesome. And that could be because of some subconscious alteration in my form. You know, maybe my body's like, wow, this is not good. I'll do this instead, right? It could be because somehow maybe my just head and brain got used to the jostling up and down, right? And that was the first obstacle I encountered. And the second obstacle was I was traveling. I traveled 2 provinces over. If you're in America, that's probably like 3 states worth of distance for you guys, because our provinces are pretty big. I went there for a wedding, and I kept up with my skips quite well. It was an awesome time. I skipped every day, saw my parents, some old friends. It was a great time. Then I got back, and then I got sick. Pretty much right away. I think it was a day or 2 after I got sick, and I skipped a day. The first time I didn't do my skips. So this is day 18. It would have been 19, but unfortunately I got sick and skipped yesterday. Still sick, don't feel great. That's why I got the headphones, gonna give myself a little bit of musical motivation and make it through. So day 19, well, no, 18, day 18. And I felt pretty crappy about that, because this whole thing was about, you know, getting the skips done. Even on the day where like my head hurt really bad on the way through, I took a break and then I went back at it, right? That was a bit of a setback for me. And so after that, we went back at it. And the last and final obstacle, so to say, took hold, which was a big old toothache. My freaking, this tooth right here just started pulsating, kind of, it was hurting, you know? And, you know, obviously that's not good, right? And so I skipped a day based off of that alone because it was hurting pretty bad. The next day I went through with it, didn't feel great, but the skipping overall, it was fun and I enjoyed it, which was awesome. But there was that pain and it was getting worse. And so I went to the dentist, I got my tooth yanked out, there was an infection and whatnot, and so they were like, haha, how much money you want to spend? I said minimal, and so yank it went. After the tooth fiasco, in which I was able to get rid of that, and after the hole, the gaping little spot there was in good enough shape, I went back at it, and I forget if it was before the tooth or after, but my skipping rope broke. The handle, I guess from the constant rotation, it being a $3 skipping rope from Walmart, it ended up shearing through and it broke and smacked the apartment railing. I think it was after one of my shifts of work, and so it was quite late and it's quite loud. The apartment railing is metal and it is hollow.
skipping rope has in fact broken. So I will I'll tape it back up and I'll be right back.
So that was interesting. I ended up trying to tape the handle back on because the handle was comfy, right? And I didn't want to lose length, as most people don't. But it didn't end up working too well as the tape did not hold, and it once again smacked something. It busted apart and did not hold. So I just grabbed it by the raw string and I went at it. A few days later, the other side broke. And so now I had a skipping rope that was shortened on both sides. But the one issue about this is that now I hit my feet and my head so often. Anytime I would skip, it would be no more than 30 seconds and whap, or whap. Was not ideal, not ideal at all. Did the skipping work? Did it give me any sort of physical benefits such as ab definition or vascularity? Did it increase my discipline though? The main thing, the discipline, did it increase it? And I want to say during, yes. This is recorded a few days afterwards, and I feel like my discipline's going back down. I am still very more or less consistent with my strength training, and I'm making sure to eat enough protein, but like me as a human being, I'm not cleaning up my apartment as much, right? You know, that's not something I look forward to doing, and so I don't do it if I don't necessarily have to, which is what I'm trying to fix, you know? I want to be able to get up in the morning, and I want to be able to clean up after myself, feel good about myself, and actually start working towards my goals, right? I want to start making headway, because you're likely in a similar boat as me, where you have all of these great ideas and you have all of these great insightful thoughts that you want to execute and you want to bring into the world, but you just can't bring yourself to start, right? That's me. That's what I'm trying to fix. That's what I'm here trying to do. And I guess we'll see if it worked, right? I mean, if you're seeing this video, I started, you know, journey has begun. So that's awesome. But now, did it impact my physique? And I think no. I think that there is such a minimal difference. Any difference that you'll see there, once again, is from all of the other unchecked and uncontrolled factors in my life, such as the strength training and the diet, and them being as inconsistent as they are. Overall, I enjoy skipping now. I won't ever do it again, unless it's for another video, because I don't enjoy it that much. But I enjoyed it. I think it was fun, and I do think that the premise of doing something you don't like in order to make yourself be a more responsible and disciplined human being, I think that's something I need to put into my life more, and I think you should as well. I think that's something anyone and everyone could benefit from, doing something you don't like, which is preached by so many people. But that has been my 30-day skipping video, and I hope you guys have a great day.